everybody, welcome back to Chatincolor. I'm Steven.
And I'm Tiffany.
In this episode, you're getting us on the road. I know it's been a long time since we've put out an episode, and a lot of that's been because we've been on the move a lot, a bunch of different things going on, but we finally got the proper equipment necessary and all of that, so we can actually just bring you episodes from the road and not let that get in the way of us putting out new content. So, just really to get you caught up on what we've been doing and why we've been away. I mean, Tiffany, I don't know if she told y'all about a trip that she had. Do you want to talk about going to Hawaii, babe?
Oh yeah. So I don't recall, because it's been a while since our last recording. I don't exactly recall what we spoke about last. So I wanted to mention my trip to Kauai, and that was in July. So hopefully we've come to you since then, but I'm not absolutely certain that we have. So, hi, we're here now. And my trip there was amazing. If you ever hear anyone say that Hawaii is like nowhere else in the United States, like if you've been to Miami or other parts of Florida or even the southern shores here, no, there's absolutely nothing like it at all. So it's a wonderful experience. At least I had the opportunity to enjoy a more rural island, and that was just phenomenal. And the healing that I experienced while there has me so excited about my own interest and vision for myself and my life. And so now I'm excited because I actually feel like I have an ignited, aligned vision, which is something that I actually had hubby. I think it might be on our photo. I might be wearing the shirt on our thumbnail that my hubby made for me that says ignited, aligned vision. And part of what I experienced while I was there was an amazing guided meditation led by Rudy Reiskens. And I'll actually add a link for the show notes. We'll add a link to him. He's a phenomenal individual. Both he and his wife Aniston were there at the retreat, because I went for a retreat with my mastermind group. 3 different mastermind groups came together. One by Patrice Washington, one by Amberly Lago, and the other with Brooke Hemingway. So Brooke Hemingway is actually the one that lives in Hawaii, and so we all got to come there, and she took us on amazing trips like around the island and a fantastic hike. We can add some pictures and stuff from that here too. But so anyway, getting back to the ignited, aligned vision part. While I was there, like I said, I enjoyed this wonderful guided meditation, and for a really long time I did not appreciate the benefit of my ability to lead guided meditations. But my experience there with Rudy made me to know just how impactful that can be and is, especially when you find the people that are your people, right? The ones that are interested and the ones that are wanting and willing to learn and open. So I was just supposed to be saying a little snippet here, I think,
But listen to how much excitement she has. She has passion in her voice. So, I mean, you can't stop her when she's going on about something that she's very passionate about. Why would I get in the way of that, you know? I love how much passion that she's actually speaking out, because, I mean, there have been times where she would just stay quiet about these things as opposed to using her voice and taking up space and speaking out about them. So that's why it was nothing for me to just sit quietly here and listen and smile along as she was speaking passionately about her experience, you know. So, you know, that's growth in itself right there. And we're celebrating growth here. We chat in color and we celebrate growth. We absolutely celebrate growth. Did you want to talk more about that? Are you done?
Oh no, we can actually move into talking about like where I got the language ignited, aligned vision, and how that now impacts both he and I are a part of the Redefining Wealth community, which is really just a community of people that believe in the 12th century definition of wealth, which is, overall well-being, like your entire person. So whether that's your inside and out, and you're living abundantly, and setting up your life to support you and your space around you. So all of these different concepts go into how you redefine wealth for yourself and then create a wealthy lifestyle for yourself. So we're getting to work on these things together now, where previously I had the interests and I wanted to show up better for myself, but I wasn't comfortable enough in doing so because I didn't realize how much I was still seeking external validation. So whenever I was not receiving the validation externally, that to me felt like I must not be doing the right thing, which was completely internalized, and it kept me from taking steps and important action toward the ignited aligned vision, which is the language that I get from Patrice Washington in that community. That's how these things come together. But I got that ignited aligned vision, and now we are able to work towards this vision that I talked about, like using my voice and supporting others with guided meditation, all those things. We get to work on those things together now, and he gets to support me with even using the same and similar language so that we can better understand one another. And he can even bring to me now, because Patrice, we call her the chief edge snatcher, because listen, what she is not here to be is your friend. She is here to hold you accountable to what you say it is you want for your life. And that is the type of accountability and relationship that I need and want and appreciate at this stage in my life. And I love that my spouse and I get the benefit of participating in a community that provides us that information and allows us to do so collectively. You got one that you want to share?
She's passionate. Hey, I'm letting her go. I'm letting her go, right? Yeah, so like she said, whenever she would be listening to any of the content or, live streams, anything like that, going to their different events and stuff like that, I wasn't interested. I had no desire to go. I had no interest in hearing what was being talked about, anything like that. So this past event that Patrice was going to be doing, Tiffany was already, signed up to go, probably when they first dropped the tickets or whatever, so she was definitely going. It wasn't really a question. And I don't think that she had any intention of asking me to go with her. I don't know if you had any intention of asking me to go or not prior to.
I knew that you were planning on making the ride, like the drive with me this
That's
time.
right.
Because last time the prior times, I had just gone by myself.
Yeah. So I did plan on going down, actually, and being in the vicinity, just not attending the actual event. But, shortly before the event, Patrice actually, contacted Tiffany and invited me to attend the event, so I did. And when I got there and listened, because I wasn't going to go in and not actually pay attention and listen, I'm an adult, so I got there, I listened to what was going on, I paid attention and understood really early on that, these are my type of people, because as Tiffany was saying, she's not there to be your friend, and she really speaks a lot of the language that I'm already comfortable with speaking. I kind of grew up, Tiffany and I grew up very differently, so a lot of the language she's speaking in terms of some of that edge snatching stuff is the way that I grew up anyway, so it don't hurt my feelings at all. I'm about it. I'm like, I'm about this life the way that she be, I'm about this life the way that she be getting them, because she does it in a way that really only that person knows that they're being got. I mean, a couple other people who have been around long enough may know what's going on, but really that person is the one who needs to hear it, and they're the one that's hearing it and feeling it. And, you know, sometimes you need somebody to give you that gut punch to kind of wake you up or rattle you or, you know, knock you off your course, so maybe you open your eyes, you know, if you're on autopilot. So yeah, I got there. It was a 3-day event. I participated all 3 days, and, you know, fell in love with the community, really. So yeah, it became really easy for me to want to step, you know, further into the community and actually learn more about the language. So, like Tiffany said, I can communicate in a language that she understands, and in a way that is not harsh or, you know, offensive or anything like that. Because now I can just use a Patriceism on her. I'd be like, hey, she said that to you, not me. And it'd be true.
It's true.
And like, I didn't say it. I'm just here. You asked for people to hold you accountable. She said it. I didn't say nothing. You know, I can just listen to an episode of something, a podcast episode, and be like, here, you know, I heard some things in here that, you know, whatever, you know. I can send whatever message to her, and just along with that episode, and she'll hear the things that she needs to hear in it, you know.
Yeah.
So it's created, again, a different way for us to be able to speak to one another, communicate with one another, but in a positive way that is building not only us individually, but our relationship together as well.
Yeah. And I enjoy how it's encouraged me to just show up more authentically and more consistently for myself. It's just, I didn't know just how much I was still seeking external validation until this, which is something really helpful for me to have pinpointed, because recognizing that need and how it can show up, I may now be able to help other people recognize how those things are showing up in their life when they don't even know that that's what's happening. Like, because I mean, there are absolutely decisions that I've made that I didn't know that I wasn't fully making that decision based on what I wanted. I believed that what I had talked myself into was what I wanted, but that was 100% based on what other people had like conditioned me to believe, you know, earlier in my life.
Yeah, that's important, that we show up as the most authentic version of ourselves all the time. In every room and every door we walk into, every room we step into, show up as the most authentic version of yourself. Because showing up as anything else is, again, it's not you. Obviously, you're showing up as some masked version of yourself. You're putting on a costume, whatever you want to call it. But showing up as the most authentic version of yourself is really the only way that you're going to be happy. You know, not telling anybody to make any rash decisions, think through anything before you actually do things, but showing up, get into a place where you can show up as the most authentic version of yourself is going to really be the only true way to happiness.
Yeah.
You know, again, you're putting on masks for other people. You're making decisions for other people. So, again, we grew up very differently. I grew up kind of being taught, not in a selfish way, but to make decisions for myself. Now, sometimes the decision that I'm making for myself is to do something for somebody else. You know, every decision that you're making for yourself isn't a selfish thing. You know, sometimes that decision is, I want to do something for my wife to make her happy. You know, that's the decision I'm making for myself still, but, you know, I'm making it, maybe I'm sacrificing something I want to do to go do something for her. You know, that's still me making a decision for myself in that instance. So understand what I'm saying when I say that, but that's still being the most authentic version of self and showing up as that in the atmosphere.
Yeah. And I, like when we were talking earlier, how I mentioned that I thought almost just the opposite. Like I thought that showing up just authentically as me was one of the most like offensive things that I could do, because it just seemed like that wasn't accepted. So what I learned from that was that in any environment, it was most important for me to be the chameleon and show up in whatever way would be most comfortable and fits best with the environment where I am. So whether that means me just kind of being quiet about things, or whether that means I just need to kind of remove myself, then that's what I did. But I didn't know how to be in situations where me showing up authentically wasn't, or I didn't feel like it would be accepted. So I just didn't even know how to show up. And really, when you do that for so long, you forget who you are.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can train yourself to be anything,
right?
You know, or out of being something, or you know, whatever the case may be, you know. And so, with what you were saying there, I want to, at the same time, be careful or make sure that we all understand what we're saying the same thing, right? Because, for example, you said something about being a chameleon. Now, if you are being forced to be that chameleon, then yeah, you maybe are not being an authentic version of self. Now, certain places you go to, you may step into that room and decide you want to just stand back and observe and not be noticed for whatever reason.
Right.
You know, it's up to you if that's the choice you make in that time, you know, but be making it because it's what you want to do, not because someone else is, you know, on your shoulder speaking to you, telling you that you have to do that because of some rules that they've set for their life based off of the information and experiences they've had.
Right. So do so out of intention,
choice, yes.
Not obligation.
Absolutely. Intention, not obligation, for sure. Yeah. That's the way that I view those things when it comes to being a most authentic version of self in, you know, whatever the situation is. You know, you may be another room where you want to step up and be loud and be bright and wear the big poofy dress that's colorful and it's going to grab everybody's attention, you know.
Okay, so totally have to add some pictures of those two, because when I say I was so happy in my little dresses, honey, I was so happy, and I felt like a little princess. The only thing that was missing was a tiara, but it won't be missing next year. Worry about yourselves.
There it is. And so why not show up that way if that's how it makes you happy to show up and it's not hurting anybody?
Everybody.
So show up like that. That's what I say. You know, that's the way that I view life. That's the way I think we should all be walking through life. It's not hurting anybody. If your little girl or your big girl wants to wear princess dresses every day, then let her do it. Why? All right, for example, why is the wedding gown such a big deal made out of it for one day, so it get then go in a box or a case or whatever, never to be sniffed or touched again, you know?
Right, no, you're right.
Why not wear, I mean, fine, you got that one dress, it's great, feel the way you feel about it, but why can't you dress similar to that every day? It ain't got to be white. It can be whatever color you want. You could get it dirty. You could buy another one.
Whatever, because you know, I genuinely love like the little, what's like fairy kind of outfits, and then I'll find, okay, so I'm adding so much work for this video because I have some content creators that I follow that actually show the little fairy kind of like outfits and stuff that I love, and if I could just wear that stuff regularly, I would.
Sarah, if y'all see me making faces, it's not at anything she's saying, it's at this traffic situation up ahead.
Oh, speaking of, you can get an image of that too. In real time.
But yeah, be who you want to be. Be what makes you happy. Don't be conforming because there's some weird rules or not even rules in society telling you can't wear, you know, a princess dress to work or whatever, you know. Like, the people are going to look at you funny, but you wear something like that, you want people to look at you, not saying in a bad way, but you got to understand people are going to look at you if you're wearing a big, bright dress. You're drawing them in. Give that energy. Give the energy of the sun. If you're wearing a big, bright yellow dress, then give off the energy of the sun when the people look at you.
That part, baby. Oh, I like that. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you're wearing that red dress or whatever, then give off the energy of fire.
Ooh, yes.
Give them that heat. You know, they gonna be looking, then hey, set them on fire. But don't be changing who you are, conforming who you are just because they gonna look. So what? I mean, that's just the way I look at this stuff. So, hey, it is what it is. I mean, y'all do what y'all want to do. You can walk through life however you want to, but being the most authentic version of self, I guarantee you is going to be the happiest version. Just don't be hurting other people. You know, that's the rule number one.
Right.
Don't hurt anybody else, but be your most authentic version of self.
And I don't believe that anyone living in purpose, on purpose, or for purpose, that car is upside down, will
y'all be blessed out here and be safe on these roads. Anybody that's living on purpose, for purpose, with purpose is not harming others.
Right. If someone hears something, just like we've talked about Patrice and other like mentors that we've had, they may say some things that might sting, right? And they sting because we recognize the truth in the statement.
Absolutely.
And so there may be other people that are supporting characters in our lives that may hear things about themselves that feel like, wait a minute, well, why? I don't like how that makes me look. Well,
look at the truth in yourself. I mean, look at the truth in the story before you get offended and all of that, because I'm not saying anything out here to offend anybody. I think I've told y'all before, and I'll tell you again, I really don't care how anybody feels about anything that's coming out of my mouth, because I mean the stuff that I say.
And he does.
I think before I speak, and I speak with purpose. So I'm not saying anything to offend you. If it makes you feel a certain kind of way, it was probably intended to make you feel a certain kind of way, hoping that it would actually generate a response from you. Not necessarily a response back to me, but a response in your own life.
Like a change a potential change in...
Correct. Behavior or whatever.
I got you.
Because if I actually took the time to speak my words to you, because I don't speak a whole lot to a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, my talking on the phone days, we did that enough back in the 90s.
Listen, didn't we?
Spent thousands of dollars on phone bills back in the 90s. I don't like talking on the phone.
I do not like speaking on the phone now at all. Like, I don't like doing it for work. I don't like doing it like
at all.
What are y'all doing out here? Yeah, I do not like talking on the phone.
Sorry, y'all. I don't know what these people are doing. They're like coming to a complete stop on the interstate for no good reason.
Right.
Like I said, y'all be blessed out here on these roads. People drive kind of crazy. But all right, back to what we were talking about. Yeah, I'm not saying it to hurt your feelings. If it does hurt your feelings, it is what it is, because I'm not concerned with your feelings. You know, your feelings are not, they're the least of my concerns when I'm speaking to you. So just know and understand that, and don't consider that part of the equation whenever you're thinking about what it is I said to you. Oh, he said this hurt my feelings. Don't even think about that, because that's not true. Just think about the actual words, the message of whatever it was that was said.
I see what you're saying now. Okay, and the way that you said it initially, people could have taken it in a more negative way, which is exactly what you were just talking about, where one has a choice to say that you were intending to be like, I don't care how it is that you hear it, or you could be, they could take it as you saying, it is not my intention to do something that causes your feelings to be hurt. It's not my intention to say something that will cause your feelings to be hurt, but it is my intention to speak the truth. Like, those are two different things.
Absolutely.
But again, people could have chosen one or the other.
Exactly. Just like their feelings getting hurt is a choice that they're making. They're choosing to take it in the way that hurts their feelings in that instance, if that's the where it goes.
Well, I think that we choose offense, but I do believe that our feelings, like our actual feelings in response to something, I don't know that we necessarily control emotions in that way, but I do believe that we control what we do with the emotion. So, like I said, if you say something and it makes me feel a way, I can choose to ask myself a question as to what is actually causing that feeling, because it's not you, the individual. It's something about me, in me. But I had to work to get to the point where I would be able to process something in that way.
Right.
Because previously, I just would have been thinking, you're just saying something to hurt my feelings. Right. You're saying this thing that happens to be true about me to hurt my feelings, because you and I both know it's true.
Right.
No. Make it make sense. That's all. Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. Anybody in the comments, if you can help me make there are just some things that I've grown out of at this age and stage in my life that once I've learned it, like once I see it, it's so hard for me to understand how I could ever not see it. I really struggle with that now. And instead of ruminating on those things, now, like we said earlier, I'm celebrating the fact that I'm catching those things. I'm catching them quicker, and I'm making the corrections. I'm making adjustments, and I'm doing so intentionally. That's a big deal, because for a long time I wasn't.
Celebrating the growth. We are definitely celebrating the growth around here these days, because that's all we're continuing to do is grow. So we're celebrating all of the growth that we're having. Wow. So that went off on a tangent. What else were we supposed to be talking about? Were we supposed to be talking about a bunch of other things?
Yeah, we were. I don't know. I think this is actually a good place to cut this one. I think it's, we have some good material. It's a good amount of time.
Yep.
And we can plan on doing another recording and drop it soon.
Yeah.
Actually soon. And truly hold ourselves accountable.
Yes.
To doing so.
Yes.
To showing up for ourselves.
Yes. We don't have a specific schedule to release just yet, but we will definitely get ourselves consistent and then get something figured out where we can, be dropping episodes on, say, a certain day, time frame, something to that effect for you.
Yeah, let us know your interests, whether a seasonal show is something that you would like, whether we could just do like maybe 12 batch episodes and then release it over the fall, winter, or if you would prefer to have them more spaced out and then have, maybe additional episodes throughout the year. Just, let us know.
Yep, let us know what your preference is. But all right, we're gonna get up out of here. So any closing remarks, Beck?
Just that it's good to be back. It's good to, I can't see you all, but it's good for you all to see us. Yes. And it's good to know that you're interested and that we have your support. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your comments and questions and sharing. And we look forward to being back and sharing more with you.
Ditto everything she said. And it's great to hear your voice. voice. It's great to hear you speaking up and, like I said, taking up space. That's, you know, part of the mantra. It's great to see and hear you taking up space. So keep it up. We're celebrating the growth. All right, we're going to get out of here. Until next time, y'all.